Okay, next project, WETOGS. Please welcome on stage Farah Mami.
Thank you. Hi everyone, my name is Farah Mami, and I'm here today to introduce you to WETOGS. WETOGS stands for We Together Socially. It's a web and mobile platform to connect individuals, NGOs, and local communities. Okay, so 4 out of 5 or 1.4 billion people use social sites every day to post photos and engage in discussion. And a quarter of all time spent online is on social sites. So why not use this for greater good, to have an impact on NGOs and charities? Humans are social animals. This is a quote from a book I was reading from Tom Sandage, and it basically says that from the beginning of time, even before like language, people used to gossip about like their daily behaviors and stuff. They used to engage in discussion, belong in communities, and hence they wanted to help each other. WeTalk is here to connect the help. We identified 4 main problems that WeTalk is going to find a solution for from the individual's perspective. The first one is the bad news information spiral. Basically, you look up everywhere, online, Facebook, Twitter. You open your TF1 or whatever. There is bad news everywhere in this world. We offer the people to have the opportunity to look at news from a new perspective, from the perspective that people that are helping. The second point is the information overload. We all want to help in some way. That's how we found meaning in our life at the end. But there is so many information out there, so many NGOs. You have to go and look up every single one. It takes a lot of time. So what we want to offer at WeTalks is offer an ecosystem with all the NGOs based on your interests. The third point is lack of NGOs transparency. What I mean by that is that you're going to give your money, but you always have to go check on NGOs, where it went, the impacts, and all of that. It takes a lot of time when you want to donate to different NGOs. So what we offer is that NGOs can put up the content in WeTalks and update on the impacts they had last year, what the money was used for, and then like make people more able to make informed and sound decisions on their donations. And so far, I've looked online. There is no network to connect people based on their philanthropic interests. Let's say you want to locate yourself and be able to connect with people who have the same interests as you. So we offer that at WeTalks based on geolocation. I graduated from McGill in Montreal, and then I went on to do a law degree in London. And during those 2 experiences, I had the chance to work with NGOs. I did international aid in Montreal, and then gave free legal advice in London. They were great experiences, but I have so many other interests. I wish I had a platform I can just log into and put up my interests and be able to one day volunteer, I don't know, for helping children, and the other day, you know, like go to a culture center, or either donate, like just wherever you go on holidays, you can donate to people and stuff that really matter for you and you really care about. So here came the idea of WeTalk. So this is the whole questioning we have. But you might be wondering, how are you going to start that? This is quite a big project. You're going to start with all the interests all at once? No. We're going to focus on 2 main interests. The first one is an interest that there is a lot of donation going on right now with it. It's education. And the second one is going to be a topic that is current, that make the headlines and the news every day, and that touch a lot of people. And it's the refugee crisis. It's getting worse. From last year to this year, there are more people dying. And this is an important matter that we should all care about. And WeTalks is here to be able to offer the help to those people through a platform for anyone to just log in and either offer their help to volunteer or donate money to help the cause. Let's look at our customer segments. The first one are NGOs. They're going to be the ones putting up content, targeting content to their audience, increasing their fundraising potential, and have an emergency button. That's very important. That's going to allow NGOs to alert donors or individuals on crises that are going on right now and for which they need volunteering or funding as soon as possible. The second biggest sphere are individuals. They're going to be able to give money or like volunteer. They're going to be able to locate themselves and search a map based on their interests. They're going to be able to discuss and share with people. And we're going to offer them at a membership fee, the transparency report. We're going to be evaluating NGOs and see which ones are the most transparent and offer that to individuals. Organization donors, basically that have the whole ecosystem to be able to view the interaction between individuals and NGOs, and be able to see also the individuals' rating and make better decisions about where to give their money. Transparency report will be for the NGOs as well, for the donors as well, and we offer them follow-up reports to follow up where their money go in places they are not willing to go, let's say, in some emerging economies. We're gonna focus on developing the app and making sure that we stimulate NGOs to put up content and individuals to be there. Our key channel is the internet, the World Wide Web, and we're gonna be using Google referencing and social network to make us more visible out there. Our key resource is our website, the app, basically, and we want to build a strong brand for people to trust us and come to WETOGS and put up, like the NGOs to put up their content for NGOs to get there and be able to donate or volunteer. And we're gonna invest also on humans, like then we cannot do anything without key people. So let's talk about the world market, charities. In 2015, 2.2 billion people helped us here. 1.4 billion people donated money, and 1 billion people volunteered their time. Well, the aggregate winner of that is Myanmar. It's the country that gave most on those three indexes. The second one is the US, followed closely by New Zealand, then Canada, and then Australia. Let's focus on the biggest market, the second market, as a percentage of population, which is the US. In 2015, the charity industry in the US represents $373 billion. And out of that, 71% came from individuals. And 6.4%, or $23 billion, were given through online platforms. So we're looking at a $23 billion industry. Let's look at our revenue streams. Our key revenues will be through advertising fee, catered to NGOs and donors, transaction fee for individuals and donors, and a premium membership. We offer services to all three customer segments. Our biggest cost is going to be marketing, because we want to increase the visibility of the platform, make sure people hear of us and start using the platform. The second one is the IT, to make sure that the platform runs correctly and meet customer needs. And the third one is HR. Now let's look at how we're gonna get there. The first 6 months, we want to develop the initial version. The second 6 months, we want to get NGOs involved and interested about this platform and recruit key team members. Hopefully in 1 year from now, we'll go live with 2 key interests, the refugee crisis and education, and then go live in 2 years from now with all the best rated interests. So I know this competition is about creativity. So those are the main topics, main key points, I think, makes WETOGS creative. We challenge establishment. There is no such platform out there offering what we want to do. Create positive competition. The more transparent an NGO is, the more donation they will go to it. Coalition project offer NGOs to be able to get together toward a same objective to have a bigger impact at the end. It's an evolving platform. It evolved based on the NGOs putting up content, individuals being there and putting up content. And it's a global for local impact. We want a global platform, but with local impact. And we offer people and donors to be able to make decisions on their donation with the data we provide. We offer different travel lifestyle. Wherever you go, you can check out the NGO based on your location, and you can either go and volunteer with them or donate money to them. And we connect philanthropy. We connect people on the new level, philanthropic level.
Last minute.
All right. Let's now have a look at how the platform would be. This is basically a profile. You have your location, interests, NGOs and communities, emergencies, and the news feed. You have friend suggestion as well. That is going to be based on your interest. That's the search map. You can search NGOs based on interest or your location. And that's the NGO page. They can list their emergency projects on the left, the projects going on, last year project, the money they raised and the impact they had with that money, and their reports, financial reports or other reports. So in the midst of chaos lies creativity. We live in a chaotic world, and we hope that WETOGS will be able to make a difference. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Okay, Farah, you have 5 minutes to judge us, please. Well, the whole thing, we want to do it through auto-regulation. If there is any malicious NGO, let's say, or people rating badly on NGOs,
we want people to be able to notify that and to signal that. And we'll run also back office data to make sure that the NGOs that there is and like correspond to the rating of the people basically on their work.
Okay, thank you, Farah. I have a question about your interest to companies. Actually, I see your app integrating the CSR programs of company, but I don't see any interest to companies that are corporate social responsible. So, did you plan to integrate companies into your platform?
Yes, that will be at a later point because we want to start with the focus, because if you start too large, there is more risk of failure. So we started with like two main interests, refugee crisis and education, because education is one of the biggest fields where money is going. So we start with that, and then the platform is constantly evolving. We want to evolve, and obviously this is the customer segment we have to look at, and we'll evolve on the basis of that.
How do you reach critical mass? If you launch a platform like this and you don't have enough information on offer, people will very, very quickly get disappointed and bored of the platform. So you need to have the information in place before you launch it. How do you intend to do that?
What information? I don't understand your question.
So let's say I'm a user and I want to see who's active in the refugee humanitarian field.
Yes.
I log on, your website is new,
Yes.
and I don't find anyone, or I find two organizations. I will say, okay, no, that's not worth it. I'll find more via Google. So you need to have already the information uploaded, ready to use. How do you reach this critical mass?
I totally agree with you. And that's why we said that the second milestone, like the next 6 months, will be about sourcing NGO, going and meeting people and making sure that there are people and NGOs and institutions interested about this project, and that they will be going to like put up content and be there to like let people come and be able to notify them about that.
My second question is, you said you want to do a thematic focus on refugee crisis and education, but do you have a geographical focus as well? I mean, you cannot cover 200 countries all over the world.
As I mentioned earlier, we started with the US market, with as the World Giving Index gives, like the biggest country based on donation and on where there is a lot of things going on in terms of donations. Myanmar, it's like 53 million people, so it's too small. We start with the US, and then the platform can expand from there.
So it will be the same, similar question to Ralph. So you need a lot of sourcing, etc., to have your critical mass of information for the first NGOs. How do you plan to organize yourself for that in terms of team and work, etc., and finance that as well?
Yes, but it's a good question. At this point, we want to gather like the critical people that will be interested in that. I'm not going to do that all by myself, obviously. This is something I want to do with others because it's something that's going to have an impact for all of us, you know. So the whole point is to start in the US because it's the biggest market, and to find key people also interested in investing in this type of platform in the US, let's say. I don't want to be, in first I focused on donors, but you want to be transparent. So it will be more people that are completely neutral on this.
Last question.
Is your company going to be a non-profit or a profit company?
No, it's going to be a profit company.
Registered in the US or in
Yes.
Tunisia? In the US.
Yes, Tunisia, let's talk about it a little bit just to know. I was a bit disappointed actually. In the World Giving Index, Tunisia ranks 139th over 142 countries. So I wish I could start with Tunisia, but it's not a starting market for a platform like this.
Thank you so much. Time's up.